Hey everybody, what's going on? Mav here. This is Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 28. And I just rudely interrupted my good friend here, 3-Bit, who was talking to me. But hey, we're gonna have an awesome, fun show today. It's gonna be a lot of fun talking about some great topics. We have two amazing guests actually today. One of them is on the way as we speak. The other one is sitting right here next to me. And you know him very well from the WBG We Bleed Green podcast. He was nice enough to have me as a guest there on their last episode. So without further ado, making his first appearance on Xbox Ultimate Podcast is my main man, Dirt Griggity. How's it going, dude?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming on WBG last Monday. I know things got a little crazy.
It was fun, dude. It was fun being in that environment, you know?
Yeah, man, nice. Thanks for having me, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome to have you here. Then until Midway gets here, I'll go in order. Now, as you know, first in my heart is my lovely wife, Caitlin. Hey, baby, how are you doing?
I am doing good. Thought you were going to say someone else, so I'm glad it was me.
No, you're first. Definitely.
Number one.
Second in my heart is my other wife, as you've seen on Twitter. As Mr. Pong Soul. What's up, dude? How you been?
Hey. I'm great. You know, I'm number 2 in your heart, and I can't complain, right? So
yeah,
that's okay with me, man. So,
but where does that leave 3-Bit? That's the question. Like, you know,
he's our child.
He's our child.
That's true. He is young enough to be our child. So we'll go with that.
Oh man.
And then we also have. You know him very well, and he keeps pulling the stuff out of his ass, and he keeps pulling on Twitter that he shows off that he's been working on for years, and he's like, Hey guys, I just haven't shared this with anybody, but here's this amazing thing that I worked on before.
I did when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, and it's like, I also won a Nobel Peace Prize when I was 16. So go check out his Twitter. He has a really cool trailer for a game that he worked on, and he said he might pick it back up. So check that out. It's pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. How's it going, 3-Bit?
It's going good, man. I've been busy. But you know, I'm ready to play some games tonight. Might get Drunk Bit on here tonight later. That'll be fun. Some broccoli.
Nice.
But yeah, it's going good. Good to see Dirt on here, and I see like Lady and other people in the chat. So hey guys, it's gonna be a fun show.
Yes, thank you everybody who is hanging out with us in the chat. As always, you are all amazing, awesome people. We freaking love you guys. I also see some new names in here as well popping in, so that's pretty awesome. Shout out to all you guys. Now, how do we start this podcast every week, babe?
The fun speculation of the week.
That's right. So what do we have on the menu?
New Halo game? What could it be?
Ooh, okay. So this is in reference to this rumor that was popping around that 343 is actually producing, not developing, but producing another Halo game besides Halo Infinite. And also rumors were that, hey, the development team that's working on it is going to be a large studio. So we're going to go around. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check on this rumor, but what I want to speculate on is, hey, what could this game be, right? Like, who could potentially take on something like this? And also, what could this game be? Like, what could we expect from another Halo game? And well, I guess we'll start with our guest, Dirt. Did you? I don't know if you had a chance to see that rumor. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw the rumor. I thought some people said that they found out that it was just something about Halo Infinite. I don't know, but if it is another game, I'm not sure what it will be or what team will make the game, but I know I would like a Jedi Fallen Order type of game in the Halo universe. That's what I would want. I think that would be amazing because the Halo universe is a big universe. I'm sure they have plenty of stories they can tell in that universe. And Jedi Fallen Order was a great game. Obviously, I know Respawn can't make it or wouldn't make it, but I would like some type of third-person action adventure game in the Halo universe. That's what I would like. That's just my opinion.
Right on.
But I did think I heard some people say that, was it by a job? I mean, like, was this rumor started from a job listing or something like that?
Yeah, so I'm just Googling it because I missed like anything that you said. So I just popped it up on and there's an article from IGN 4 hours ago. So I didn't see this. So 4 hours ago, IGN had an update and it says Halo job listings refer to Halo Infinite, not a new Halo game. So yeah, I don't know if that's where the initial rumor took off from. But hey, it's fun to speculate about this stuff. Anyway, we've been talking about possibilities of more Halo games coming out in the Halo universe and what we would like to see and what needs to happen. Whether they are working on one, anytime there's a rumor, you got to take it with a grain of salt, period. Because this stuff turns out 99% of the time not to be true, right? But definitely. It's fun to think about, and that's why we do this bit here. You know, it's fun to think about what the possibilities. Paul, what do you think? Like, what do you want out of another Halo game that's not, you know, in the main line? Skip Halo Wars 3. I think we're gonna get that. We got Halo. We got Halo Wars. You know, I think those are two existing franchises. What's something else?
Are you stealing my thunder? I was just going to say, sadly enough, it's not going to be Halo Wars 3. Come
on. They got to bring us Halo Wars 3, man. I need that.
Yeah, maybe down the road, but they're not going to do it up front, right? So, all right. Well, okay, fine. So, leave Halo Wars out of it. So, obviously, personally, what I'd love to see is an ODST style spin-off, because this universe is so huge and there is so many stories to tell that we've only seen a small fraction of it, right? So not even being, you know, I'm not some diehard Halo fanatic, right? So I consider myself a casual Halo fan. I played them all. ODST happened to be my favorite out of them. Maybe that's because I am more casual about it. But I just think this universe is as deep and rich as any that's been created. And I wish they would go explore that. I think there's so many different avenues they could go. So personally, for me, I'd love to see an ODST, but you could take this a million different ways, right? So, you know, what about a horror game, right? So what about a horror style, dark, more adult themed Halo, you know, with the flood, you know, possibly go down that route. I'd love to see them expand in those kind of different ways and just show different aspects that we have not seen of Halo. And obviously, once a ZeniMax deal is done, you're going to have access to all these different teams with all these different engines, you know, like, you know, obviously the ID engine, anything that they want to do, they basically could put down now and actually create something out of it in any style that they choose. So I just love to see them move some direction away from necessarily a first-person shooter. I don't think we need that. And yes, I know ODST was a first-person shooter, but what I'm talking about is the theme, you know, being kind of, you know, a little bit darker, you know, again, just a little bit more detailed, and the world coming more to life. And let's see other parts that we have not seen before. So I'd love to see that.
Yeah, dude, 100% agree with you on that. There's so much stuff we can think about what we want. I remember we had a similar talk about this recently, but when that rumor had popped up earlier this week, I was like, okay, that's gonna be. I gotta talk about it more because you guys know I love Halo, right? And 3-bit, I think you had some interesting ideas last time we talked about this. What are you thinking, man?
So I'm thinking what's more likely in a new Halo title is something like an ODST 2 where it's a spin-off game. But if you think about it, Bungie had made Reach and ODST, which were spin-off games, and 343 hasn't had their take of a spin-off yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Most of their work isn't really outside of the main titles like Halo 4 and 5. I'm excluding Halo Wars, and some of their top-down titles like Spartan Assault and what have you. So I think it's more likely we'll see an ODST type game if they do decide to go with that. What I actually want them to do is what Dirt was saying, is experiment and try out different genres. I said this on Boom's show yesterday, but I fully believe that Halo can be compared to a franchise like Star Wars in terms of the lore. That I believe it can also like break genre barriers as well. So a Halo horror title like Pong was saying with the Flood would be amazing. Being able to play as Master Chief when he was a kid in the Spartan program would be legendary. And in my opinion, Halo needs more of that type of storytelling because they have they have a lot of context to the world in the books and animated shows, but in the games, a lot of that stuff is a mystery or it's happening in the background. So I would love to see them experiment with different genres, similar to all of the new Star Wars games they're about to do, right? With they're coming out with a lot of different Star Wars games with different different developers. So I'd like them to really take a chance with the story. And if you want to use your Chief in most of the Halo games, that's fine. Love the guy, but a lot of people who just play the games and know nothing about the story, they don't know much about the intricacies of that character. There's a lot to Master Chief and how he grew up in the Spartan program that is not relevant to the games. So yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say. I want to see more of his story if possible in Master Chief's story, if they're going to keep going down the route of using Master Chief. Outside of Master Chief, I would like to explore other things like a horror title or third person. So breaking genres and also exploring more of what's in the books. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, bro. I love it, man. There's so much lore in the books and stuff and everything that is unexplored on the screen, and 95% plus probably miss out on all this, right? They just aren't aware of it or just not into that kind of media. Hey, babe, do you got any ideas? What could we see from another Halo game? What would you like to see?
Well, I have more of a question.
Yeah.
I know that. Oh shit, the dog. Sorry.
That's all right.
I know there's been talk about a Halo Battle Royale, right?
Yes.
So if they ever did that, do you think it would just be a mode within like the regular game, or do you think they'd put out a whole separate game? That's
a good question. And that is possibly like some people could find that controversial with like 343 taking on Battle Royale and stuff, as well as all the other stuff, because that would take away from the mainline multiplayer if they did it that way. So for me, I would think the best way to do it would be to implement another team, make it its own free-to-play experience, separate completely from Halo Infinite and the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Maybe you can access everything from the same hub. Yeah, I think it should be its own thing. You know, because if it's its own thing, you can do whatever you want with it, and it's not going to be felt within like the actual Halo canon of like, hey, this matters. What goes on with this other crazy thing, right? Similar to what they did with Warzone on Call of Duty, where it's standalone, but also you can access it from the other titles. Right? Hey, Midway, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey, we can hear you too, man. Hey, so we got another intro to make here, guys. He just got home from work. I wanted him on the show today, and super excited to have him here. He's a fellow 4 guy with Quarter on the channel that we do a podcast together. So everybody say hello to Midway Monster.
Yeah, hello.
Natural Midway Monster. What's going on, bud?
Hey, man.
Hello, I am Midway Monster, and I'm a gameaholic.
Yeah, dude.
Welcome, Midway
That's what
Monster.
it felt like. I felt like I was in like a meeting.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
You
no,
are.
it's great. It's great to be on
Intervention.
the show. I was very, very surprised by the invite. So surprised that I forgot I had a prior obligation to attend to. So, I'm glad he was able to accept my tardiness. I have heard the beginning. Now I see on the I hate to do this now, but I see on the YouTube channel that I don't have my camera on. Every time I try to join voice on Discord, it kind of cuts everyone off. And when I hit video, I just see. So I don't know, like, I'm not very tech savvy. So I'm kind of afraid to touch it. So if you're okay with me and my little red box.
Oh, hey, dude.
Circle.
It's not a requirement.
Camera is
Come
not.
off.
Camera is
Come off.
not
He's out of
required.
here. No camera.
And Pong says it is. No, I'm just kidding. Pong.
I think
camera-
my face would give you at least like 5 more views. That's what I think.
Hey, I get to see your sexiness every Tuesday, or actually, it's going to be Thursdays now. You know.
Yes.
So no worries there. But yeah, also guys. Yeah, no worries, man. Glad to have you here. So 4 Guys with Quarters is moving to Thursdays, just so everybody knows, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right, man.
This is the only podcast I think I do camera in.
Yeah. Well, hey, guess who's going to be on that episode also, 4 Guys with Quarters, on Thursday next week?
Who?
3-Bit.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. He got the invite to be on that episode. So, all right, Midway, what we've been talking about, I don't know how much of you caught, but there was this rumor. It turned out, apparently, Dirt came on here and he crushed my dreams. He had to annihilate this rumor that, because he's more in the know than I am and has seen news, because he actually studies and does research, and which I don't. So he crushed my dreams on this. However, earlier this week, there was a rumor that there was going to be a potentially another Halo game, and it was going to be a different developer, but produced by 343. So it kind of got the mind swirling, and so we were having some fun, like speculating about what could possibly be another good Halo game to come out. And so, what are your thoughts on that, dude? What would you like to see?
Yeah, I mean, Halo Wars is fun and all, but I don't a 3. I heard that because when was the last time they quit supporting? They haven't stopped. They're just now shutting down the 360.
Yeah.
So I don't think, if they're just stopping support, I don't know what they're doing, like any online access or that stuff.
I think they're killing the servers on the 360 completely for Halo 3.
Yeah. And then Halo Wars 2 is it just like no more like extra content support, but are they still making it like online capable and all stuff? And
yeah, they're going to keep it online. They're just not doing any more updates, which they haven't done in a long time. So I'm a Halo Wars fan, so they haven't added anything or done anything new in a long time. So everybody already kind of figured that was going to happen.
Okay, so I don't think it's going to be any type of strategy that I think it's going to be another another spin-off. I'm a big Nathan Fillion fan, so anything with Buck I would love.
Buck origin story?
That would be nice. I know he's a little busy because he's going to be on the what is it? The reimagining of the Suicide Squad, the TDK, I think it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be busy, but I mean, I would love to see some type of origin story. I mean, does anybody think that Locke is gonna have an?
I think they're done with Locke. I think
they killed him.
I think they're gonna kill him. You know, I think they didn't
I think they already did.
You think they already did? Yeah.
I think, see, that's the thing. Like Halo Infinite is kind of like a make of the original, right? Kind of going back to that time frame.
Well, it's a continuation of the series, but it's like it's a reboot in the way of giving the feel of the original, of like the style of the original, but still continuing the story where it left off.
Yeah, I mean, any type of extra apps, extra content of Halo's story, because I know it's a vast story. Books, independent movies, and stuff like that out, and I'm excited for it. I just think it's too early to call, especially when it comes to what type of story it's going to be. I mean, obviously, it's always fun speculating. So, but I would love a Buck story, and that group. So maybe it could be something, because he ODST, you know, he was the partner. So I mean, I would love to see something with that group. Maybe it could be something before Locke even comes in. Maybe they'll give Locke a few more years off vacation. Because I feel like in today's time, they would love to have that type of character, because I mean, he was kind of like methodical and almost like it was okay. So it was boring, but the thing is that he had that beeline like motivation, you know. So like that could be something that they could use and maybe flesh out his character a little more, because obviously one game and finding Master Chief, the people that everybody loves, you know, the person that everybody loves, like I'd be surprised if more people that were playing Locke just stopped the game because they're like, I don't want to go after Master Chief.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, you know, so I mean, it'll be it's too early to tell, but I mean, I would love to see more characters fleshed out when it comes to the Halo universe.
Personally, I think the main mistake they made with Locke is they forgot about something with character development, is give you a reason to actually like the character that you're playing as.
Like a personality.
Yeah. Like, or a personality, or like some kind of motivation or a backstory to really kind of dig into why is he like this, right? Like, why? And they didn't really dig deep into that stuff. So maybe they could do something there, but I think they're done with the character because of the feedback. I think they just like ran with it and were like, okay, let's just find a way to move on from that. It didn't work. You know, we'll see. What do you think? I see you wanting to say something, Dirt. Yeah. You're smiling over there. You're on mute, man.
I'm sorry, because my furnace that came on, I'm kind of about my furnace. I ain't wanted to. But they have to kind of explain why they're moving away from them, right? I mean, this can't just all of a sudden like Halo Infinite and Locke is nowhere to be found. They gotta, maybe he should get killed or something, right? They gotta explain something. I mean, they don't have to, but
yeah,
you would think common courtesy. There might be like 7 to 8 people that like Agent Locke or Luke Cage or whatever. It might say, hey man,
yeah, he's a good actor.
Where the hell is he? So
there was rumors actually because of the toys, right? Where they actually like one of the Banished had like Locke's helmet like on the gun or something, or he's wearing it like he's had it like a trophy or something.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
So that's where like the rumors I think come from Locke. I don't know if that necessarily means what we think, and if they do kill him off, I think he's gonna go out in the beginning of Halo Infinite with some kind of a grand exit, and maybe potentially even be in the beginning of the game. You know, I think where we picked up on Halo Infinite wasn't the start of the game when they showed it off. I think there's going to be a prelude to that where we get to see like what happened to Atriox, what happened to Locke, what happened to a lot of these characters to lead them to where we are now, where the pilot that's stranded in space and all that stuff.
It'd be pretty interesting if they show Locke actually like sacrificing himself for Chief, right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
to save Chief and go out that way. You know, he's on this mission to go get Chief, and then all of a sudden, you know, whatever, he winds up finding him, and you know, Chief's in trouble, and Locke winds up just, you know, making the call and sacrificing himself and saving Chief so Chief can get to where he needs to go. That'd be pretty cool.
If they ever did want to
Show a
save that
different side.
character, having some kind of sacrifice like that would make him as one of the most, like, just people are over him, don't really care about this character. Like, to one of the most beloved characters actually in the lore. So they could do something like that, and that would lead to possibilities of like other stories with Locke going in the future, like from backstories and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a prequel or something.
Yeah, you never know, man. But I think personally,
show how he got the way he was.
Yeah,
that would be cool as hell.
We need to have an episode where we just do like Halo lore deep dives, dude. This is cool, man. But this is what I personally think would be really cool, right? Like a RPG style game, right? Maybe third person, first person. Maybe there's the ability to switch between the two. I 100% don't really 100% care which, but open world, mission based. I want you to be able to have the development of one of like the Spartan, later on Spartans, right? That go through the training and go through that growth. Maybe Buck, like between the transition between ODST and a Spartan, like somebody like that, where you actually take on that training and go on missions and then and do all that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of possibilities with like customization and backstory, and more lore can be implemented with side quests and all these different kinds of things like that. I think it could be kind of fun. I don't know if they're ever going to go in a direction like that, but it'd be kind of like Halo's cross Mass Effect in a way, right? More lore, story-based dialogue with like missions and going into like becoming a Spartan, right? Not the effed up way that they did it originally, where they kidnap kids and turn them into Spartans, right? I'm talking about like the other Spartans, right? The later programs. So I think it's like Spartan 3s, right? Cool. Spartan 4s. I don't remember all the technical stuff, but that would be something I think would be fun. Also had this idea, like you could have like a rogue Spartan that like is going against Oni. Like he's like, what happens in that case? You're talking about a problem, right? So anyway,
only
imagine the possibilities.
Cool.
Imagine all the possibilities. That's right, dude.
So many possibilities.
Freaking love it. Hey, babe, what's next on the agenda today? Time to move on to our next discussion.
It is what's been taking you away from me every night.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean
wife number 2.
Yes, basically. The Division 2.
Yeah, so
with wife number
2. Just because I had to throw this on there because I can. I just threw this in the topic list. Hey, the topic is Division 2. Now, the reason why we're talking about it, for those of you that don't know, last week there was an update on this game, okay? And it's not technically Series X, S enhanced or whatever, okay? But the Series X console, and I know the PS5 runs it amazing as well now too, are running this game like crazy good. I mean, I'm talking about not just hey, it performs really well. I'm talking about like, hey, I've never really had this experience, right? And I'm not trying to sell everybody the game like everybody's been thinking I've been trying to sell you the game, which I think we have sold a few copies. But this game is running like butter. There's so much detail with the higher textures and everything. With a multiplayer style game like this, it's just freaking insane and incredible. And we've been having a blast diving back into this game that's not new. It's not a new game. We've been having a blast diving back into it, and more and more people keep playing, and it's kind of like a rebirth for this game, and it's actually led to Ubisoft making the decision to support this game further, and they've actually made more announcements about that even today, about new content coming. It's because of the resurgence on this. So more than just the Division 2, I want to say, how much kind of an impact does them seeing how this is performing now after updating it? Could that have an impact on other games in the future with these studios actually putting an emphasis on making sure their games actually are supported and work properly, that they know that that's what's going to drive people back to it?
Absolutely.
And also the game itself, just wow, like it's mind-blowing for me. Well, I guess we'll start with Dirt again, man.
Absolutely, man. Seeing people go back to your game definitely will make you say, wow, maybe we should invest a little bit more time, drop some new content. Or it could be like Bleeding Edge, right? People wasn't playing the game, so they said, you know what, let's just scrap it, let's cut it. But the Division, man, listen, I was a huge Division 1 fan, put so many hours into that game. Part 2 was actually better. I like the New York setting a little bit better than Washington, D.C., but it was a great game also. And I played it, once the update came, I played it, and I'm not a PC gamer. I mentioned this in the pre-show. I'm not a PC gamer. So this 60 frames per second thing is something I haven't experienced that often. And let me tell you, I love it. The Division 2, it plays smooth at the same time. It looks great. Great resolution. So yeah, I can definitely understand why they decided to go ahead and drop some more content. And I also understand why people like us went back to the game, because I haven't played it since, when did it come out? 2019?
Yeah.
I stopped playing it like maybe early 2020, and I haven't went back to it until recently. So I've seen you playing it like crazy, and you seem to be having fun, and obviously you're not the only one, because a lot of people must be playing it because they're about to drop some new content. So I think it's a great thing. You to see these games have longevity. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, man. 3-bit, have you had I know you've been super busy, dude, with all your work you've been doing, making secret games behind the scenes that you can't tell anybody about, revealing games you worked on 7 years ago that you're just now telling everybody about. But besides all the secret life that you have you had a chance to dive into the Division 2 at all? I know I've seen you in some of the streams we've had.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play much games this week, but I downloaded it. I got the expansion, and I'm looking forward to checking out the game with some of the podcasting buddies circulating around the community. It's very much going around the community right now. I've seen Colt playing it, and Dealer, and you guys, and I feel like it started. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just in my head. I feel like it started with Mav and Pong, just making everyone buy the game. You're like very great salesman. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll buy it. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I mean, every game that should be upgraded to 60 frames in 4K. It feels fantastic to play, especially with the Series X having variable rate shading. So if there is any frame rate drops, it's probably not even recognizable to our eye, and it looks like a blast. I mean, I haven't played the first one, or I have no idea what it's like. So I'm interested in trying it out very soon with you guys. So it'll be really fun.
Well, we got a clan going, ready and waiting for anybody that wants to join and hang out with us while we play, because we've been having a blast. Pong, man, my the clan leader of our Division 2 clan, he actually mentioned it to me, guys. I didn't know, and he's like, hey, Mav, this Division 2, have you checked it out yet? It's got a new update. I was like, has it really? It got updated? He's like, yeah, it's 60 frames per second. I was like, what? So I was like, okay, shit, I gotta go check that out. And then we played, and we've been playing like almost every day since then. It's crazy, dude. How much fun have you been having? And also the other questions, like, do you think this may have an impact on developers?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I said this when I first, because I jumped back into it, and then I had tried out, obviously Ghost Recon as well, because I want to see these updates, and I had made mention that I was going to give Ubisoft the credit as like that's due for them to actually still care about these games that, a lot of people were looking forward to. But when they came out, like a lot of games we've seen lately, they just didn't live up to expectations, right? So for Ubisoft to go back and do this, and again, I know they didn't go back and get the full certification and all that kind of stuff to get the actual, X and S patch on there, but for them to even take the time to try and just give us these frame rate increases and the resolution improvement and what seems to be some graphical improvements, I think they deserve all the credit in the world to do this. And they've had plenty of success with all their other launches now that they could forget about these games like some other companies like EA, Anthem, and not do anything to fix them, right? And not to go back and try, even what's left of the passionate community and say, okay, guys, hey, you know what? We're going to keep trying. We're going to try to make this game something. So they've actually done that. And I think it's showing up now, like everybody's talked about. All you got to do is go on Twitter, and I know we're a small portion of the community here, but man, I've seen more videos and more people tweeting out stuff about the Division than probably in the past year and a half. I mean, since it came out, it's been crazy how many people are going back and saying this is like a brand new game. At first, sometimes like they'll fix a game and you'll go back to it and you'll have kind of a love for that game and you'll say, oh man, look at what they did with this game. And you'll kind of question yourself going, am I the only one that thinks this? So to see all these other people showing up and going, man, this is like a totally new experience. This is, all the stuff that Mav and I, and Psychonauts and stuff, while we're playing, that we're saying other people are echoing in the community, and that makes it absolutely amazing. And that obviously shows that it's real. And so I think that this definitely going forward shows that if a company takes the time, and it's not always going to work out, there's going to be some games that are just broken and can't be fixed and the community never comes back. But I think if you have a game that maybe on life support or a little bit above life support, but you have a passionate community and the base game itself is good, which the Division games have always been good. They're based on Snowdrop Engine, which is a beautiful engine. And now we get to see that in all of its glory, right? So the base core game itself was good. Now they've screwed up with some of the really hardcore fans. And you're always going to have that in these types of games with balancing and with PvP versus PvE and that kind of stuff. There's always going to be people who complain, but you can draw back in some of the other people who may have tried it out and said, it's not for me, just by giving it a little polish. And maybe as the content grows and they have a more complete set, which we can now see, because I think we all agree the story itself is actually really good too. They put a lot of work into this. There's some people who pan the story and say it's not that great, it's kind of generic. I actually love the story and the acting is well done. So again, that base game is very well done. They polished it up, brought it to the next gen systems, and suddenly interest is back again. And so why not? They're still making money on this game. There's still microtransactions in this game. That's what these games are all about. So why give up? Why just, send it to an early grave if you don't have to? Try stuff like this, and who knows, see what happens. And that's exactly what they've done. And even Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I've seen more people start playing that. I've started to see screenshots with that. That game was pretty much dead out of the gate because it was so it was so lackluster. It was empty to start out. But they put
for sure.
Yes, correct. And they lost a ton of people at the launch. And myself, when I bought it a little bit later, but it was still pretty empty. But now with all these updates, it's actually a really good experience. So, they put all these time and money into it. All these devs put all this work into it. Why not? Why not try at least till the bitter end and say, hey, you know what? We're going to keep giving this a go and see if we get something out of it. Hey, and Ubisoft, again, all the credit to them to pay off for them, because I can tell you, Av and I are owed some commission checks here from Ubisoft just from what we've sold. So I can guarantee you they're making money again on this game. And I think it's just going to continue to grow if they support it through the next year or two, that like they say they're going to.
Yeah. I don't think it was a coincidence that we happened to see the DLC go on sale all of a sudden right after that update, because I got it and then the day after that it went on sale for like $9.
Is it still on sale?
I think it is. It's like
I
$9 for the DLC,
Yeah.
and I
It's
think
through this week.
the
It's
main
through this
game is
week's
$9
deal here, so.
also.
Oh wow!
So you can get the whole thing right now for like $18, right?
Hmm.
I don't think it was a coincidence. I think they saw a little bit of traction going and a little bit of hype. They're like, okay, let's just put this on sale. We can get as many players flooding into this as possible because we got a lot of positive traction right now. And then now this week we see the news of, hey, we're gonna continue support for this for another 2 years, right? So this is like interesting to see this kind of resurgence in what was not a dead game, but a game that was kind of just not doing that well, or just a lot of people stopped playing, and it was just kind of hanging on there, you know. To have a flood of people from lots of different, it's not just the Xbox community, it's PlayStation, it's PC as well. People flocking back to this thing because of that update. Midway, have you had a chance to play it in the last week or two?
Yeah, I when I heard the update was there, I went back and my God, I have a Series S,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
like even with the resolution maxed out on the Series S, the way the frame, oh my God, it looks beautiful. No, hardly any popping. The first time I played a 60 frame game was Gears 4 on the one. They started doing performance mode, and I tend to have more. I say I have frames eyes. I don't have resolution. Like I feel like I don't need to know what a stick looks like at the top right corner of the screen when I'm getting bombarded and shot at, you know, right in the middle of the screen. So I don't really focus on resolution, but the frame rate is what's going to define this gen. And filmic should be dead. 30 frame, like I love the Division. I love the first Division. And I remember after that game came out, and everybody, that's when the first time I ever heard anybody start talking about Endgame. You know, like what's there to do after the game's over? You know, so I remember then when they were going to release Division 2, the creator or the head guy, Ubisoft, I think it was, he came out and, you know, basically said that they were going to fix everything they did wrong with the first one. And even though it took a minute, I think they're starting to really put more emphasis on, obviously, on content. Since now they how much frames means to console gamers, and I'm excited for it. I'm still getting used to because with that drop engine, I mean, it's like the body movement, like everything, like it's so it has a realistic feel, and still get used to all that because you know, first Division, it was just like click stick and start running. But yeah, I know, great. It looks great. I believe this was this patched also for the One X?
They had an update across all systems, I think, but I think the primary reason was to allow for the One X version to run at 60 frames on the Series X and PS5, right? PS4 version, 60 frames on the PS5.
Yeah, so going playing the Division 2, and then I went back to play the Division, and it was just like that turn. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why did I come?
Yeah.
But you know, I still love both games. Very excited about, and then seeing the post that they put on about more content, sale of the Warlords of New York DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's I'm happy, I'm excited, and I hope that you know, they keep doing this. They're starting to feel more almost Microsoft-esque.
Yeah,
The
we'll
content
see,
update
man.
stuff.
I'd say like this whole thing me think about Halo Wars a bit, because Halo Wars is sort of going to die out, and from what I know, and it's not getting a 4K 60 frames per second patch. And it just goes to show you what a patch can do to a game. I guess this is like the first sort of I guess outline of what could happen to a game if you can regenerate it and just update it. You can get people back. I think the Wars could definitely benefit from that if it gets like a 4K 60 120 patch, right? But it seems like they're just killing it off. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Halo Wars was like a very good, solid game in that genre. Like introducing a lot of people to that sort of genre is not easy, and I typically don't play those type of games. I know a lot of my friends don't really play those types of games, but they love Halo Wars. So I'm sort of advocating from Division to Halo Wars, if possible. See what is possible when you can get an audience back just by doing a patch like this. So,
well, there's some rumors going on right now with, and may explain why we're not getting some of those Xbox updates on a lot of the first party games, because of stuff that they are rumored to be working on right now. I don't know if this is what's happening on the 17th, but we'll go into more of that a little bit later. But there's some interesting Xbox news supposed to be dropping on that day, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. I wanted to move on from this, but stick on Tom Clancy for a little bit. So it's time for my favorite part of the episode.
Mav, hold on. Mav, hold on. Before we get off Division 2, real important question though, is Dirt and Midway going to join our clan? Because we got to recruit right now, right? So if you guys are playing, you guys are in.
You want a level
pressure
6 clan right now?
We want
Division 2, right?
Awesome. We want awesome people in the clan.
Division 2. That's right.
We'll help you get to where you need to go.
If you want a level 6, if you want to carry a level 6 for a little bit.
Absolutely.
I forgot what level I am.
We'll carry anybody.
Hey, if we join your game,
we'll carry
leveled with you. If you join our game, you get boosted with us. That's how it works.
Right. So wait, if I'm like a level 1 and I play with you guys, like what? Who am I facing? Like the
They say you high in the back. They be like high behind us.
Yeah, but you'll get boosted to like a level like us. But you also, if you get the Warlords from New York, you can get up to level 30 automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I am facing like level 30 bosses and stuff.
Yep.
But
you can play with anybody. It has a system like that to where it affects the loot that you get more than anything. Like that's the down part of it. But you can level up and gain experience even with you're playing with people higher level or lower level. It does a good job with that.
I saw your stream last night. So
yeah, I saw you there.
Pong. I hear Pong like that guy over there. He's down. That guy over there. He's down.
Yeah, Pong's like, a beast, man. He has his tech like kitted out, man. It's like
he'll just be like, just stay in the back.
No, everybody's running pretty good though. But yeah, no, anybody could join our clan, man, and we'll run you guys through it and get you up real quick. So now's the time to join in because it's going to be fun. We're going to start doing some raids, which is up to 8 players. So
yeah,
that'll be fun.
I've been waiting for a game like this to get kind of sucked into, I was thinking I was going to go back to Destiny right now, but I'm going to stick with this for a while, I'm going to play some of my single player games, and I'm going to be playing Master Chief Collection on Friday nights, and then Division 2 a lot of. But I wanted to stick on Clancy for a minute and surprise you guys again, because you're going to have to make a tough decision. This is the part of the episode where you have to kill it, guys. This franchise doesn't deserve to exist. It should be banished from memory, banished from history. One of them has to go. So, which one of these guys it has to go?
I hate you in these.
Splinter Cell, you can already say it's dead, but if you kill it, that means we're never getting it back. Okay? Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, Division, or Ghost Recon?
Ooh.
Okay, let me ask you this: if are we saying that Splinter Cell is going to come back? at some
This
point.
is the assumption that we are going to get a new Splinter Cell game. But if you choose Splinter Cell, it's not happening.
But we
Hey,
are assuming
Michael-
we're going to get another one.
Not
at some
only is
point.
it not happening, it never existed. It didn't deserve to be there.
Is
Don't
it
even know
They
it's
heard the
out.
concept of Splinter Cell, like, that's stupid. We're not going to throw that game out there. No, you wouldn't even have a memory of being Sam
You
Fisher.
just have a hole in your heart, and you don't know what's
That's
missing.
right. Exactly. So,
I can answer this.
hey,
Oh.
babe. Yeah, I want to know which one is it
I
for you?
will the division so I can get my husband back.
Wow. Here
That's
we go.
No,
a
I'm
good
just
answer.
kidding. I would kill it though because that's the only one I haven't played of all those.
Right. That's a good fair answer. I'm gonna make Dirt make the next tough choice.
You know what? For me personally, this isn't that difficult of a choice.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon will have to go for me because I did like the older Ghost Recon games, kind of, sort of. But this generation, Wildlands was okay, but I felt it was too open world. If you guys catch my drift,
Yeah.
just
I get you.
just my opinion. And like, what's the last one?
Break
Ghost
point.
Recon. Yeah,
Point.
that one was okay also, but it was a better story than Wildlands, but it's too open world for me. So
Yeah.
that would be out of there
You know,
for me.
all of the Clancy brand games have had their downs and
Mhm.
their ups, right? So none of these franchises have just been flawlessly perfect all the way through, really. I mean, they all have had their ups and downs. For me, the Ghost Recon was my favorite ones was Advanced Warfighter on 360.
360, yeah.
Graw
That one
1,
was dope.
Graw 1 and Graw 2. Those came out on 360 before Halo, or Graw 1 at least did, before Halo 3 even came out.
Yeah.
And it was like the
was pretty
multiplayer
good.
shooter on 360 for a while, and it was insane. It was so good online, and also the campaign was great. Ordering your squad around and giving commands. All right, Midway, which Clancy franchise do you think doesn't deserve to exist? You are erasing this from history. Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, The Division, or Ghost Recon?
Hey?
Done.
Midway.
I tried it.
Oh,
I
was about to say.
seconds. I didn't.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer for me. That's why I was.
What is it?
I mean, I tried it. In the beginning, maybe that's what hurt in the beginning, because obviously they put a lot more.
What'd you try?
Stuff in. Huh?
Yeah, like we didn't hear
What
your
you got?
answer because you went out.
Oh, Rainbow Six.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're not big into Rainbow?
No, not really. I tried a couple of the 360 to it. Splinter Cell, I'm assuming Michael Ironside is the voice, and I want to hear that beautiful voice again.
Definitely.
And and then I love the Division. Division 1, I think I've played like. It's kind of weird. Like I always replayed it just to try to get like the perfect like weapon set that I want. It was kind of weird with that. And then what was the other one?
There's Rainbow, The Division, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell.
Yeah, you could tell Ubisoft in this generation, this past generation, was trying to go serviceable and open world like sandbox. But like I played Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I enjoyed it. So to me, it's more modern. It's kind of like the small little group that like that. I kind of. So
Right on.
Rainbow Six for me. Kill it.
Okay, so far we've lost The Division, Ghost Recon, and Rainbow. All right, 3-bit.
Oh man, I was hoping I never went. Let's see. I love Rainbow Six. Not even necessarily Siege. Just I grew up with like the OG Rainbow Six on like N64. I would play with my dad all the time, so I can't kill that. Splinter Cell, I refuse to ever kill that game. That's my jam.
Man, good man.
Agreed. I agree with you on that one.
Ghost Recon. I love the like Advanced Warfighter and some of the older titles. Can't kill that, so I have to kill Division. You guys haven't introduced it to me yet. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Hey, wait till you play it with us, and you might start having second thoughts about that. We'll see.
But I have to kill Division. I haven't played the first or second one. I've always wanted to. It's a title that has always passed over me. I'm sure, like based on what I've seen you play, Mab, I might actually enjoy it more than like Ghost Recon.
Yeah,
looks like my type of game. But I haven't played it, so I'm gonna have to kill it.
Even all the times he died.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah. Even all the times I died, I am the one always on my knees, like, please, somebody come revive me. Pong.
Pause.
You're gonna have to make a tough decision here because I know you're probably as much of a Clancy game fan as I am.
Yeah, I am. But actually, this just comes down to what I play the least, I guess, at this point, and that would have to be Rainbow Six, right? So I love Vegas and I love Vegas 2. I put a lot of hours into those games. And so it's hard for me to say Rainbow Six, but the Rainbow Six now, the competitive mode is just, it's not my favorite. So for me, it would have to be Rainbow Six because the other three all have produced, well, besides Splinter Cell, obviously, but we're assuming that that's going to have a new one if I keep it. So to get a new Splinter Cell at this point would just, wow, that would top this generation if they can pull that off. So, and obviously I love Ghost Recon. I loved all the Ghost Recons all the way through. Yes, they've had their ups and downs, and they weren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But coming from, like you said, the 360 to now, I have found a lot of enjoyment out of those games. And then Division, I absolutely adore the story, adore the games that they created. I put a lot of hours into number 1. I finally hopped into number 2. I put, like 300 hours into that thing. And now I'm back into it again. Although they need to bring back the snow in New York for good. Just bring back the snow. Yeah. The snow is the best.
I want to see seasons. I want to see seasons actually. Like,
yeah, just do it seasonal, whatever you got to do. But I just want to see snow again because that was the greatest thing. But no, I love those 3 so much. And Rainbow Six, even though I have a lot of fond memories, I could live without the current ones versus the other 3. So Rainbow Six it is.
Right on. All right.
Close to killing Rainbow. Very close.
Okay, so before I go, I have one acknowledgement to make. That none of us have killed Splinter Cell. So why did you, Ubisoft?
Good point. Great point.
Right? I mean, we all love these Clancy games. We play them. We played all of these franchises, except for 3-Bit. He hasn't played the Division.
Sam Fisher.
That's to be expected. It's a newer franchise, right? But, like, the one that we love probably the most, all of us, it seems, is pretty hands down on that, is Splinter Cell. So why is that the one that is non-existent? Why is that the franchise that is not that we had? They skipped a generation, guys. They skipped a whole freaking generation.
It's coming on mobile. Don't worry. It's perfect.
Into the bushes. Poor guys. So they threw Splinter Cell into the bushes and then the fire. Here's the thing with Splinter Cell. It's a very interesting thing for Ubisoft because Ubisoft has strayed away from a lot of their games' origins, being stealth for the most part. A lot of their games aren't stealth anymore. They're very much service-based, action, adventure,
and
shooters.
Their earnings report said that like all of their franchises are going to be games of service pretty much now going forward, which is kind of I don't know how
Even
they're gonna do
Assassin's
that.
Creed.
Yeah, definitely.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed, when it first started, it was all about you're assassin, you're hiding in like crowds, and then you're assassinating your target. Now it's very much open world RPG. You know, it's not really about that anymore. So I think Ubisoft doesn't want to do Splinter Cell because it's hard to change up that formula.
That formula, right?
They can
That's
put,
what
you know what's
they
crazy?
can put seasons and spies versus mercs
I
and
mean-
let you customize your spy and like your merc and like lots of content coming around that. If they can do it in Call of Duty and games like that, you know, you can do it with Splinter Cell. I put my hands down. Spies versus mercs multiplayer is one of the best multiplayer modes, period, ever to exist in any game.
Yeah,
Hands
but
down.
you know what? But you know, Mav, I think that was years ago. It's a whole group of gamers out here now that might not. They just want more action. Just just
More
A
action
versus
than
A.
snapping necks? Come on, I want to get behind guys and just freaking snap necks. Hang from pipes from the ceiling and snap necks. I don't know, man.
Hitman 3 shows that people are interested in still stealth, right? Hitman 3 sales prove it.
Yeah, but you know what?
they're
I think
basically-
that I think what 3-Bit said was absolutely right. Is that I guarantee they wanted to bring back Splinter Cell early in the generation. They said, how could we make this an open world game with microtransactions? They couldn't figure it out. So you know what? Let's just kill it. Let's just kill it. We can't monetize Splinter Cell, so let's just kill it.
Then sell it.
Well, I
sell
wouldn't
it
say
and let
that
somebody
'cause
else make it.
They pimped Splinter Cell out to everything else except the game.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Division,
Right.
you can buy his outfit. Like,
Yeah.
And then they got him on that one.
Ghost
That
Recon
phone
had
game,
a
that
special
mobile-
mission.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
And then they
they're
made
doing
Sam
everything
Fisher into
except
some
making a game.
roid freak on Rainbow, right? Where he's like injecting himself with stuff like on the little animated series. That's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's like okay, so I have to pick one myself. I'm just gonna say Rainbow Six. I don't know why. Ghost Recon in the past, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was one of my top games. I freaking love those games, and I don't want to lose the hope that we could get another one of those potential style Ghost Recon games. Right? I think we're probably not going to, but if I kill it, that loses the chance, right? If I kill Rainbow, I've played a lot of Rainbow games. I love Rainbow games, but you know, like if I get Splinter Cell, then I have Spies versus Mercs, and the Mercs in there are kind of like the Rainbow guys, right? So I can still get a little bit of that feel if I keep Splinter Cell. So that's my reasoning.
You know what, Tom Clancy, and I think kind of underrated, but could have used. It'd be awesome.
Cutting out,
N-War.
N-War?
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. N-War. I love
never
N-War.
played that one.
Played that thing at nauseum.
You play that a lot? See,
You
I
play
had
it with the
trouble
mic?
with it.
You play with the mic, Midway?
N-War.
Yeah, did you play that with the mic?
I did.
You
with
call
the
it out?
headset, Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot you could do that.
I don't remember that
Oh.
game.
Yeah, voice command.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
a
voice
RTS.
commands. It came with the little one-ear piece.
RTS, okay.
Yeah, it was RTS, but
Yeah.
it was like first person almost. It was like you move behind the units and stuff. It's kind of different, man.
Yeah, and it was kind
Was
of
that
like
on
Risk.
console or was it his PC?
It's on 360
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember.
and
360,
PC.
What was a game that did that before? Like, I'm trying to think about a game that where you can command your people.
SOCOM
The
used to
mic?
do that, right? Was that SOCOM?
SOCOM,
Well,
you
I
could
mean-
direct your guys. You could direct your guys to points, I think.
I
if
think
you're
you could do
playing
it in
solo.
Graw.
Oh,
I-
okay.
You could do it.
I think you could do it
Hey-
in Graw 2. Or Graw 1 or Graw 2.
You
I
could-
think you could.
Hey You Pikachu, right? On the N64.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think it was like on mic. You control Pikachu on the N64. Is that an old?
Yeah, Bomber says SOCOM.
SOCOM.
So,
It reminded me of
yeah,
Risk.
SOCOM was definitely.
I used to play Risk on PC a lot back in the day, back in the 90s. So it always reminded me of that because you had to move players up and fight, take over the capital, whatever conflict area it was. It was cool. I liked it. It felt like a general. So
Yeah.
it was
Played that one.
That's a genre of games that just like this whole like Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six style, more tactical, slow paced shooters and stuff. They need to make a little bit of a comeback. So let's hope that they do. Let's hope, I'm surprised we haven't seen more things like this with the success of Rainbow Six Siege, right? Because that multiplayer is still going strong. And it is more
2015.
tactical, slower pace. They did a good job keeping that franchise relevant.
Let's say 2015 game.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's like season 6 now, I think, or something. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was another game that started off slow.
Yep.
I was just about to say that.
all of a sudden.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That one was
Yeah.
almost dead too, and then they made all the improvements
was.
to it. All of a sudden, became huge again. A competitive scene, especially.
Now we'll see if they can figure out a way to come out with a new one. That's what they're going to be
There
afraid
no
of.
rest.
Yeah, they're going to be afraid of doing anything with that. All right, babe. What's next on the agenda? We need to move on past Tom Clancy because I guess we got a lot of Clancy fans here.
The next topic is who is the top studio at Xbox?
Ooh, yeah. So I just thought it would be fun to I was thinking about this. I think Sony's got a couple that are you got Sony Santa Monica, you got Insomniac, right? You got a couple of people, 2 or 3 there that are okay, those are the 2 guys, right? Naughty Dog, yeah. So Naughty Dog as well, right? So that's 3, I think, that are just premier, So at Xbox, I was thinking because we got so much movement right now with the studios. A lot of people are kind of down on some studios, high on others. Who is the top dogs at Xbox right now? Let's start with.
I think it's speculation.
Are we counting ZeniMax in this?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna count ZeniMax. I want to know who do we think, because there's a lot now. There's a lot of studios. Who is the ace? Who is the A team? Who's the guys? Bethesda? Is it Bethesda Softworks? You think, or? I wanted to make you guys think about this because it's an interesting thought, to have.
I nominate Mav to.
I'll say who I think. I think it's Bethesda Softworks because Todd Howard, and you have a creative genius that's created Elder Scrolls and something like that, and you have him on your team, and he's made Oblivion, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and also Skyrim, and we're about to get his next game. I think that people are kind of down on some things because of Fallout 76, but that's not really his guys and stuff,
right?
Necessarily creative genius wise. I look at it as being important with the studio. So for me, it's Bethesda Softworks.
Okay, so if I was to pretend Bethesda doesn't exist,
okay,
because they're not officially, officially in Xbox, right? Probably tomorrow they will be, right? But today, no. I say it kind of depends on the context of what that is. If we're talking about who makes the most money, I'd argue maybe Mojang probably makes the most buck for the Xbox division. And a lot of people forget Microsoft owns them because it's multi-plat. But if we're talking about money-wise, I'd say Mojang, unless I'm not thinking about a company right now. Minecraft makes a great thought, man. 500 million per quarter with 131 million active players last time I checked. Right under them, I put maybe 343. And I know that sounds weird, but Halo 5 sold tremendously on release day. Say what you want about the game. It got 500 million in its first week of sales. You guys can check that out. And
3-bit throwing out numbers here. I love it.
And Mojang, I'd say 343 and Mojang are at the top. Now, as for personal studios, what my personal One is I think Ninja Theory has the most potential to show off their identity as a studio. The technology they pull off with mocap and figuring out how to do AAA graphics within a AA budget is incredible. And now they have the budget to push their games to the next level. So you see them now like scanning their environments. Like when I was on Dirt Show, we talked about that, and making things look incredibly lifelike. And I love the first Hellblade game. So I'm checking them out as my top studio. But if we're talking about money, I would put Mojang in 343, unless I'm not just forgetting, unless I'm forgetting about some other studio. So yeah.
Anybody else
Alright.
want to throw one out there? So Ninja Theory is one of the reasons I started thinking about this, because they're working on some next level stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
oh.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
See, I understand your thought process that with Mojang 343, but the one thing that comes into my head is that 343 was ended the Halo series, you know, and Mojang was already successful.
Yeah.
Microsoft bought them, so I understand the money part, but I know that they were already, you know, pretty successful. So I on a Four Guys podcast that yours truly is in, shameless. I said Ninja Theory because of how small the studio was, and yet games tend to be critically successful with them.
Right.
Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, and then coming out with Hellblade, which, you know, again was a PlayStation exclusive for a little bit. So I mean, I struggle between Ninja Theory and now the tools that they have with Microsoft handing them, and seeing, like, even if it's just screen captures or GIF trailers, that nothing has looked like that. And then the Coalition, I'm thinking, is up there because after forgive me, I forgot his name. Who left?
Rod Ferguson.
Thank you. Rod Ferguson. After he left, the Hivebusters DLC, I think looks amazing. It, so to me, like, they haven't really missed a beat. And so when I see Ninja Theory and the Coalition, I think they are the ones that are fighting for the top. But I'm gonna give the slight edge to Ninja Theory right now because of what we when it comes to their track record, and obviously you see the excitement for what they have planned is above anything else other than Halo Infinite because of the delay. So I'm saying Ninja Theory.
Right on. Good thoughts.
Okay,
dude.
now if I go Paul.
You go for it.
Go
Dirk.
ahead, man.
Okay,
ahead,
so like I said the joke after Matt asked this question. Well, it's kind of fun speculation right now because we have a lot of great
moving
studios
parts.
that we're not sure what they're capable of. So me personally, when you ask that question, I say the initiative, if you look at the talent they've acquired, it makes me think like, wow, you know, they have guys from Naughty Dog, from Sony Santa Monica, from Rockstar, Insomniac, all of these great talent from across the industry, all in one studio. Part of me wants to believe that they're going to be one of the best studios at Xbox, but of course,
that's the hope. You know?
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah, but like, of course, like when Midway said, you know, the Coalition has talent. We know Ninja Theory is very talented. They have the best technology, and seeing them with Microsoft's budget now, because Hellblade was made 10 million of their own dollars, and I'm sure it's going to be much more than $10 million budget with Hellblade 2. I just can't wait to see what they do. But I think like besides 343 Playgrounds racing team, the coalition, we haven't seen these other studios work yet, right? Mm-hmm. Under Microsoft. Of course, they've had games before, but under Microsoft. So I think it's
hard to say right now.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now, but just from the talent, I would say the initiative, just from the talent they've acquired.
Yeah. The reason I was thinking about this is because it is hard. It's hard to say. And for Sony right now, it's not. You got like those 3 studios, and you could pick one of them, and you could make an argument for either.
Absolutely.
But for Xbox right now, it's like, and this is not saying that their Xbox is in a bad place. It's actually the opposite, because there's so much going on with so many studios and so much coming out in the next few years. That we're going to actually see this stuff come to fruition in front of our very eyes, and somebody's going to step out from here and be like, okay, our minds are going to be blown about something, and we're going to say, okay, wow, now is that Ninja Theory? Is that 343? Is that Coalition? Is that Bethesda? That's where the question is at, and it's fun for me to like anticipate who is going to be this like superstar. What do you think? What do you think, Pong?
Mav. I'm sorry. Let me say it's right. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go no. Go ahead, Dirt.
Mav, what you just said is absolute facts, right? Yeah. Just imagine if this was 2017 and you asked that same exact question.
Oh, it would be depressing.
We would all be like, So yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Pong. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, don't worry, man.
Anybody can chime in whenever, man. That's what I want.
Yeah, okay. No. So. Yeah, like everybody's kind of like 3-Bit was saying, especially where it's important, it's how you want to look at it, right? So I'll start here. A critical acclaim standpoint, right? The 2 with the most potential to match up or to become those Sony type studios, known that way from a critical standpoint, right? From reviews and from that kind of storytelling that's received by everybody as, oh my God, this is amazing. You guys gotta go play this. I think it's Ninja Theory, and I think the Initiative, right? Cool. Ninja Theory has already proven that they do have the chops, and now that they have the backing of Microsoft, and now that they've been given the budget to be able to increase their team, what they do with their team size is phenomenal, right? And the stuff that they're working on technology-wise shows that they are a multi-level talent type. Not every team creates new technology, right? Not every team can do that, and they're doing it with a smaller team than most people. They're creating a AAA experience. And on the side, they've got this brand new technology that's about to change the industry if it all works out the way they think it's going to, right? So that right there shows that they got the chops. So if Hellblade 2 comes out the way that everybody believes it's going to, and if they prove what they showed it is real, right? And they can pull this off, and they make a complete story with Hellblade 2, that rivals the first one, then I think they are now pushed up into that tier where people start talking about them with the Naughty Dogs, with that kind of success. Those teams that you talked about, especially like Naughty Dog, they've been doing it for a long time, right? And consistency is a part of this, and you got to give the teams time. And like we just said, this is all new to Microsoft. Right. Microsoft had very few first-party teams, right? And it was Halo, Gears, and Forza. We know it, right?
Absolutely.
They didn't have any team trying to push boundaries. They didn't have any teams trying to create these narrative-driven, again, Gears for sure is, and Halo to a certain degree is, but they are what they are. They're not expanding out like Naughty Dog and like Insomniac and all these other teams are doing or trying to, Santa Monica. And so I think now that they're given this chance, if they prove it, they're pushed up in that upper echelon. As Dirk was just saying with the Initiative, you've got such a collection of talent, right? And it's all just potential, right? It's all just potential. We know nothing. You know, the Perfect Dark could come out and completely flop, right? It could be like it could be panned by everybody, and Microsoft could be looked at side-eyed again, going, "You guys spent all this money, and this is what you got out of it. You brought in all this talent. This is what you got out of it. Great job." I hope not. So let's just say Perfect Dark comes out and it is as expected. All right, just alone on the experience and the talent that team has, I think if they off Perfect Dark and it comes out to critical success, instantaneously they're already up there, because the people that are involved with that team have already achieved that status with other teams. So I think that automatically inflates that, right? And I think they're automatically in the conversation at that point. I think from an overall, if we're not, if like 3-Bit said, we're taking ZeniMax out of it, Mav, I would probably agree with you. The standpoint of overall product that's been put out there, the games that have been put out there, I would say Bethesda's probably got to be it. But let's take them out of the equation. Let's just discredit that. Coalition is masters at what they do. Okay. And no doubt they should be given more credit than they have been given for what they've put out there. There is nobody outside of Epic that probably knows the Unreal Engine better than these guys, and it shows.
Right.
Again, Hivebusters blew it out of the water, man. I can't wait to see until they get their hands on Unreal 5 and get down and dirty with it, because, man, we could be in for some experiences. So I think they are masters of their craft. I would say Obsidian right now is probably the best studio that's put out the most games that have shown high quality features, right? And I think Obsidian sits there alongside a Bethesda in a lot of ways, maybe not in terms of big brand names, but again, they even outdid Bethesda in their own game, right, with Fallout New Vegas. So I think most people would agree it's probably the best Fallout. So I think Obsidian overall is their best studio. It's the most well-rounded studio. They can do different style games, and their stories and their narrative are out of this world. They know how to craft an RPG, right? They know how to do that. And I think just the experience that they have makes them probably the best overall studio that Microsoft has right now.
You know what's interesting, guys? Yeah, is In Exile didn't even get mentioned, and Compulsion. And some of these other studios that we have yet to see really what they're going to be capable of with Xbox. In Exile, guys, is no slouch, right? They have a lot of talent there, and they are expanding right now as well. They just moved into new offices as well. Xbox is putting a lot of investment with them, and I think they're going to pay off big time for them.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hey, you know what?
That's it.
I'm sorry. Hey, you know what though? But you know what's so important by having all of these studios under one roof? I don't know where I heard this from, but some developer was saying the most important thing about game development, obviously besides budget, is time. By Xbox having all of these studios under one roof, and you're obviously not going to put out 8 first-party titles a year, you know, maybe 4, 5 first-party titles a year. That extra time for the rest of those teams is going to ensure quality from those studios, and that's the best thing. And even if they're going to get even more studios, that's going to be absolutely amazing, because like we said, Mav, 2017, we could not be this discussion right now wouldn't be happening. I mean, it wouldn't be happening. And so just
we would say, who else is going to be closing down? You know, I mean,
that would be the discussion. Yeah. Right. So,
and to Dirk's point, not even just the time, but the pressure that is off all these teams. Absolutely. Not every team has to hit like
a certain sales,
an absolute 90 home run out of the gates, right? And if the game isn't looking like you just said, Dirt, if the game isn't looking the way they want it, or isn't playing the way they want it, or they want to go back and change some stuff, can make the phone call to Phil, and Phil can move his calendar around, especially once all these teams get, start firing up on all pistons. They're going to have flexibility. One game may be ahead of another one, and that team might say, hey, we'll be ready to launch at that date. You go ahead and move these guys over to our old date and give them the extra time to polish. They're not going to be under that constant pressure to just perform, and none of them are going to have the pressure. And this is going to include ZeniMax, which is crazy to say, because we all know when Elder Scrolls 6 hits, or when Starfield hits this year, hopefully, they're going to make a ton of money, but none of them are going to have to carry carry Xbox financially either. It's going to be spread across all these teams. And that is a world of difference right there.
Hey, Pong, actually, you just made a great point, because there was a couple of games that came out a few years ago that wasn't quite finished, and it was clear as day. Sea of Thieves at first did not have a lot of content. It was bare bones, but they had to put it out there. Let's just put it out there, and we got to add the stuff later. And thank God it worked out for them, where people was playing the game now, enjoying the game. Not so much with Bleeding Edge, though, right? Not that I'm taking shots at Bleeding Edge, but it is what it is.
Passion project. It's fine.
Yeah, but also games like Recore was a game that clearly wasn't finished, had a lot of potential, but wasn't finished. But Xbox had to have that game released because they didn't have any other games available. They had to have that game released. And I just think that, this is going to be so much fun. Like, once these games start rolling out on a consistent basis, it's going to be a blast, especially for Xbox fans, man.
What were you going to say, 3?
Like, it happened. Yeah, I was going to say, it seemed like it happened so fast, too. They went from, like, it feels like just last year they had, like, no companies, and then all of a sudden it felt like they had so much in such a short amount of time. So really, they've been building it according to, like, Phil's vision, right? Like, Phil had this vision for what he saw Xbox, and we're starting to finally see the repercussions of them buying out studios. And Initiative is really interesting to me because so far they've been buying a lot of these studios. There's only a few that they built from the ground up, like 343 and people make gears. Help me, Pong. Those people.
Coalition.
And Coalition. So the Initiative is a studio they're building from the ground up, right? It's completely a brand new studio from Microsoft. So yes, all these other companies, we know what they're going to do. Ninja Theory, we've seen a history of what they've done. Bethesda, we've seen all the games they're capable of, and within ZeniMax is amazing studios like ID Tech. Like we're not even talking about ID Tech. There's knows what their next game is going to be.
Right, I forgot about them.
Talent is crazy.
Yeah. And you got also Machine Games.
Arcane, Machine Games. I mean, the talent is
Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
I love the Evil Within franchise. Yeah. I forgot about those guys. Wow. It's crazy. All over one roof.
Pong make great points. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see what studios the pressure is now off. I think that's what you guys are both saying. The pressure is now off for Microsoft because Halo Infinite, everybody was looking at it and just being like, all right, Halo, that's it. Just Halo. Like Halo, you are the guide to what Xbox's success is going to be. And it's not really that anymore, which is really cool. I think that just happened when the ZeniMax deal happened. People start realizing how many studios Microsoft has now. They're like, oh, wait, there's like Forza, there's Compulsion Games, they're working on something. There's
don't forget about Double Fine.
Double Fine.
Yeah, people forget about Double Fine.
You're right. Yeah. Just wait till this stuff starts hitting in 2 to 3 years.
Crazy,
people are going to be slapped in the face with it. Like we're going to go from hearing about you guys got Gears, Halo, and Forza. That's all you guys got, and they're going to be slapped in the face constantly as these new games coming out. Going, oh God, we totally forgot they got this studio. Oh my God, look at this! Right. It's just going to be game after game after game. It's going to be crazy.
It's dropping. It's crazy.
And I just want to make one more point before we move on to the next topic, and that is, not only will these studios feel less pressure, right, but also they're going to be able to share technology, because when Xbox buys and purchases these studios, they're also purchasing the engines, the stuff they're working on, or whatever they're using behind the scenes. And that's why Ninja Theory was in my head, because they're working on some next level stuff. Could you imagine if, like, let's say Xbox did purchase Bloober Team, and Bloober Team had Ninja Theory's technology to use facial capture and animations and stuff for character models, and implement it into a game like the Medium 2 or whatever, this kind of marriage of stuff can happen now under one umbrella, and it makes that easier. The other thing is Game Pass also takes less pressure off, because instead of judging each individual game purely based on sales numbers, they're looking at the overall arcing amount of subscriptions, which may also allow for more creativity with a lot of these studios to have more variety. And instead of doing what some studios are doing, where they're trying to make all of their games the same.
Throw one shade per cast. My shade for today is Ratchet and Clank being $70. And then and then I seen this whole Twitter post on it. It's kind of crazy. Just Game Pass in general is such a bargain, where I feel like I posted this GIF of this guy like itching, because the amount of content within Game Pass is ridiculous, and every new game, we're kind of like, once you're in it, you're kind of like spoiled, right? You're just like, yeah, that's gonna be on Game Pass. I'll just try it out. Like Medium, I didn't pay for Medium, but I get to play it and try it because I'm within the Game Pass ecosystem, and these games aren't $70. Like, I refuse to pay for a game that's $70. And not to mention, I barely bought games that are 60. I wait for deals and everything.
I'm with you there.
I really hope in the future Sony is looking at, because that's why competition is a good thing. Sony's looking at what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass, and they do some sort of system with PS Now where I don't have to buy Ratchet and Clank for $70. I have a PS5 too. I'm not gonna buy Ratchet and Clank for $70.
I tell you what, if Ratchet and Clank, like Destruction All Stars, is free on PS Plus, that's the trend.
I mean, if they decide to put it in there?
Right, like they did with Destruction All Stars, it will make people think about joining PS Plus, which Sony's bottom line. Then they won't feel like they have to pay $70 a pop for a new. So if it happens, look for that trend.
All right, guys.
Then that will be two. That will be two games.
100%, man.
Try.
All right, so now to prevent it from us having a 4-hour episode, because we're doing this we're freaking deep diving into this stuff, and I love it. I'm going to run through. We're going to run through. Hey, no, that's fine, man. I freaking love that. I want to touch on these next few topics, right? And the next one, do you want to say what that is, babe?
You can say it if you want.
Okay, all right. More Forza Horizon Japan rumors, right? So this is just I saw it on Twitter. I thought it was awesome. The maps keep showing up of Forza Horizon 5 in Japan. I think this game is happening this year. I think they're skipping Motorsport. That's going to be the reboot. Like I've said this numerous times, but there keeps being little hints. And I wouldn't be surprised if at whatever they have for E3 this year, we can talk about that as well, is we see the reveal of Forza Horizon 5, and that's going to be one of the big holiday releases this year to go along with Halo Infinite. And based on the hype and how many people loved Horizon 4, I think Horizon 5 is going to have more hype than ever before for any of the Forza games, period. Especially if it is actually in Japan and this map turns out to be real. Does anybody have any quick thoughts on Forza?
I think it makes sense. I go back and forth on it, but I think from a timeline standpoint, the only way I see Motorsport launching is if they are willing to drop it bare bones because it's going to be more of a games
Yeah.
of service. I hate using that term, but whatever. A games of service type portal, and they're going to build it out as they go, right? So that's the only way I see that happening this early.
I think
if
that's
they're going
what
to drop
Motorsport
it with,
will be, Pong, but I
Yeah.
don't think we're getting it
Yes.
still this year. I think it's going to be 2022, 2023.
I agree.
Right, because I don't think they're willing to drop at bare bones. And what I mean by bare bones is like, maybe a couple hundred cars and maybe, like 4 tracks with some alternate stuff, right?
Yeah, I
which
don't wanna do that.
which everybody would be so unhappy with. So I just can't see them
Yeah.
doing that. So it makes sense. Playground turns around, a new map. The only thing is I'm sure it's still going to be cross gen, right? So I'm assuming
Horizon will probably be this time, and then what I think is going to happen is Motorsport's going to be
That's gonna be next
the
gen only.
next gen only experience, and then whatever Horizons come out after that, we'll use those new assets.
Correct.
For like
Correct.
Horizon 6 and
So it
stuff.
seems like it could be a quick turnaround for them to do this, to develop a new map, pretty much use the same assets. Obviously, they've already done the updates. They could probably polish it up even a little bit more than the updates that we got currently for it, for Horizon 4. So yeah, I believe time wise, that makes the most sense. Is it is going to be Horizon Japan. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard rumors about this right before 4 was announced. We also heard these same Japan rumors. But this time, I don't know. It's obviously still a rumor. I hope it is in Japan. I think that would be dope. I love the Forza Horizon series. Those games actually got me to that genre of music. I don't know what you even call that genre of music. The smooth, like Odessa and stuff like that. I didn't listen to that kind of stuff before Forza Horizon, but I love that music so much now because of those games. So Japan, that sounds like a perfect setting for the game. I hope it's a true rumor, but at this point we're just speculating.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but I do believe it will come out this year. Like you said, Mav, I believe Forza Horizon 5 will come out this year. Forza Motorsport doesn't even have a number behind it. It's just Forza Motorsport, rebooting it. That's probably next year or 2023, like you said. But yeah, I'm definitely hyped for Forza Horizon 5, though.
Right on. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead, 3-bit.
Okay.
No, I was just trying. I was trying to because we had I had 3 more. We don't have to get all the topics, but I don't know if y'all want to talk about this next one or you want to keep talking about Forza.
I'm good.
I don't know. But Forza, I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna steal Dirt's answer with Forza, and I'd say I want to see it in Japan, and I think there's a lot of potential there with Horizon specifically. Goodness, where you could really use the environments and the lighting could be beautiful in the Series X. Make it happen. All right, let's go.
I'll just say that there's a lot of opportunities with racing Mount Fuji or that's
Pretty cool.
So there's a lot of opportunity, and obviously I think it will sell more over there.
I want to see it in Tokyo.
There's options. Yeah.
I want to see.
You say if it says Japan, I'm sure you'll have a start line on the top island, and then you'll slowly start going down all the way down to Tokyo because Tokyo's on the southern half.
Right. I want to see that city driving for the first time in Horizon with the lights and stuff.
Yeah. Like Midnight Club was back
man. They've kind of always Horizon's always been the open road kind of feel, right? But I really want them to hey, at least one section of the game, maybe they could do kind of what the Crew did, right? Where you kind of stumble upon a city, right? But Tokyo, Tokyo has the reason I'm saying that is because Tokyo has a history of racing, right? It's it has that street racing scene that actually with all the tuners and all that stuff that comes from that area. Really, right? So back on the Dreamcast, there's a game Tokyo Extreme Racer, and it was one of my favorite games. And I would love to see Tokyo highlighted again. All right.
You think Japan? we'll let them do nuclear area.
You're cutting out Midway a little bit. I think
I said, do you think Japan will let them depict like let us drive past the area where they had that nuke?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Is that too soon?
Is there laws
no,
about that?
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I want to drive by there.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know, man. That'd be crazy. I never thought it. Way to put a damper on it.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding, dude. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, though, man. That's crazy, though. Yeah, it's possible.
Fukushima.
Yeah.
I mean, is there laws about depicting like marks in
I just think it's
other
sensitivity.
countries?
I just think it's about. I was just lighting.
Yeah, I was
it
just
up a
curious.
little bit.
I know in Spider-Man they couldn't do certain buildings. I think I don't know to what extent.
Because the owners of the Chrysler
Landmarks.
building, they had the licensing rights to it, and they wouldn't. So they changed it. They actually did a patch to change the building. So
Yeah,
because they
that's
came at them
interesting.
after the 2018 Spider-Man came out. So the 2018 Spider-Man I think still has it, but the Miles Morales one I edited out.
Yeah, so they didn't just change the face; they changed the building as well.
yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna skip this next one that I had planned. We're gonna go to this February 17th thing because there's some interesting stuff going on right now. So on February 17th, there's supposed to be some kind of Xbox news. If y'all haven't, I saw it on the end of Colt Eastwood's video. He said, "Hey, check out my video on the 17th. He's going to be breaking some news for Xbox." And that was after I'd already seen another tweet of somebody else saying that they had a video planned for the 17th that do with Xbox. So this is multiple creators are involved with this. And Colt Eastwood's one of them. And so I'm thinking it's probably some pretty cool feature. And there's some rumors about what this is. And that's why I said earlier we'd talk about maybe why we haven't gotten a possible update on like Halo Wars and those games to 60 frames per second. Because Xbox could be working on that technology to bring all locked 30 games at 60 frames per second. And if they did an all-encompassing thing, they wouldn't necessarily have to go in and patch each one of these games, possibly. So that's why I was thinking that when you said that, 3-bit. That's what the rumor is right now, that this news might be. Has anybody heard anything? Like, Pong, I'll start with you, I guess. What do you think this February 17th thing could be?
Yeah, I think it has to do exactly with what we were promised that was supposed to be available at launch, which was a certain selection of games that they were able to go in with this new process without developer intervention and up the frames, doubling the frame rates either from 30 to 60 and in some cases from 60 to 120. I think we're finally going to get a peek at that and possibly some games. Funny that you brought up Colt and his little teaser about his video coming out on the 17th, because if you also noticed on his feed, he's been showing video of Fallout running at 60 frames, which was one of the games that was advertised to do that. And he keeps saying that he's using one of the mods to do it, right? But he kept showing this footage of the 60 frames and showing it off. He might have had some access to something where maybe he got to try it out in advance in preparation for, like you said, there's a couple other creators out there that are teasing this as well. So they might have gotten that access to try out this new feature. Exciting. Again, this is one of the big things that they were promoting all the way up until launch. We got the console, wasn't available. Kind of like how not backwards compatibility wasn't working, but quick resume was having issues, right? So I think they wanted to get this rolled out. And I think whatever was holding it up, probably been able to give it the attention that it needs now to fix it and to get maybe a bigger selection of games available, because it's not going to be every game, because not every game frame wise will allow this to happen, right? So it's going to be a limited selection, but I think they're finally ready to reveal it and say, hey, here we go, guys. This is what we were talking about. Pretty exciting. They figured this out. This is kind of groundbreaking technology. I think Digital Foundry even talked about it being something that they were very interested in trying to see how it worked. So I can't wait. Any news like this that they kind of promote up in advance like this, I'm excited for, and bring on 17th.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah. Dirt, you got any thoughts? Like, what do you think this could be, man?
Well, I don't have an idea, any idea, but I really didn't hear anything about the 17th kind of until you saw like you said it. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be great. If it is what you guys said is, I am a guy that loves old music. I love old games. And I recently found out that I love 60 frames per second. And if old games, which I enjoy to play, are now running at 60 frames per second, I'm ecstatic about that. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens on the 17th, if that's like the big update. And also there's a rumor that the Bethesda deal could be finalized next week. So I mean, hey man, next week sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun for us Xbox fans, huh?
Heck yeah, I think it's gonna be. All right, Babe, did you have any thoughts? What do you think this could be?
So 3-bit, since you're an insider, what can you tell us?
Nice job, Caitlin. Nice job.
3-bit, no, I guarantee you guys, 3-bit probably has some inkling of what this is, and he can't say.
It's written all over his face right now.
It is. Can you see it? Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at that man. He knows
He's
what
like,
this
I
is.
can't
Because he's been
know.
probably using whatever this is behind the scenes.
I had no idea what's going to happen.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? What do you think it is?
Well, let's see.
You're
trying to figure out who he's going to talk around this without giving it away.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's exactly what he's doing.
Okay, so what I'm looking forward to, anything dealing with any upgrades to backwards compatibility, to be awesome. And I think anything dealing with, they have a couple of technologies that they're working on right now, and I'm really trying here. They have a couple of technologies that they're working on, and I'm that we haven't seen so far, like what Pong was saying with quick resume being a problem early on. There's just stuff within the Series X box that we haven't seen yet in certain games. Luis, if you guys him, he's very knowledgeable in that stuff, and it's a very exciting future for games. And I think a good example of that is if you guys watch the Digital Foundry video of Hellblade 2, they were really confused on how certain things were possible because they're like, is this CGI? Is this it's because of the technology that is there for, at least for the Unreal Engine and other technologies that are coming up, is very impressive. So I'll just end it there.
Yeah, I don't actually expect you to actually know any of this. So I'm joking, but it seems like you may actually. So we'll see. Hey, don't get sued, 3-bit, please. No,
you see two guys in like Men in Black come to your house, man, and be like, we need you to take that.
Yeah.
Right, with that flashlight thing, with that light bulb thing.
Memory flash, yeah.
Yeah.
That's oh wait, guess what's happening, guys? Somebody's coming to get 3-bit right now. Is that the FBI on the train right now? The NDA crew? Yeah, they're on the train to get 3-bit.
From what, 18?
Yeah, that's 18. That's the train from Back to the Future 3, ain't it?
They go.
That's the train from Back to the Future 3.
I had to find a reason to use that again.
Tour?
Look, there you go.
That's so funny. There he is.
So I mean, I mean, it's
I like
it's
how it
exciting
just
news.
floated.
Just to get back on topic a little bit, it's exciting news. To me, like 60 frames doesn't just reinvigorate the game; it reinvigorates the player. I mean, I feel like it brings new life and excitement for the player when you can dart back and forth with looking speed and not like have any tearing. It's more natural to the eye. So I mean, it's very exciting. I saw Colt's video as well.
I gotta
Believe
watch
me,
it.
yeah, he said it at the end, and I was just like, ooh. So I mean,
Yeah, it's juicy, man.
Ooh.
Juicy.
yeah, right.
Things are
I mean,
already so good right now. How could they get even better? It's
I
like
mean,
things are going better and better.
Yeah, they only talk to those 100,000 plus subscribers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So, shout out to Cold. He's a guy. So I mean, yeah, really good time for Xbox to start bringing, if it is a new technology, start bringing stuff out that they promised at launch.
Yeah. Heck yeah. All right, babe. What is our last topic here? How do we end the show?
It is the Game Pass Game of the Week, and
Yeah.
it is Hellblade.
3-Bit demanded that this be the Game Pass Game of the Week this week to force me to finish it, which I had planned on doing. I need to finish this game. I'm a fraud right now for not finishing Hellblade, guys.
I'm right there with you, Mav. I'm right.
Are you? So
I finished it.
You finished it? All right. So, hey guys, the point of this is to bring a highlight to a great game on Game Pass. Hey, Game Pass allows you to try different things. It allows you to play multiple genres, maybe stuff you wouldn't have ever checked out before. And this, according to 3-Bit, and I'll say I do admit that I did have a great time with what I've played with it so far. I just haven't gotten to finish it. What is it about Hellblade that makes you want to promote this game, to say, hey, you need to try it, man?
I first played it. I was sort of in the boat with you. I replayed the intro a couple times. I'm like, where is this game headed?
Yeah.
And what kept me playing was sort of people saying, like, people with actual problems similar to Senua.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Psychosis?
Showed how that game, Psychosis. I can't remember what it's called, but
I think.
It connected with them, and I was like, what are they talking about? I didn't get it. So I kept playing it, and I realized what they were talking about, and how she sees the world is very reminiscent of what people with psychosis see the world. They see the world in patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so smart how they use that as a way to solve puzzles in the game. So it's sort of intertwining what she's dealing with, how she sees the world, and they use that to actually solve the puzzles within the game. So I thought that was really brilliant. The game has amazing audio as well, so I would recommend you play it with headphones. A special mic, because the voices around her head. She has multiple different personalities. It was like certain things clicked with me in the game as I was playing it, and it wasn't right away. It was just like a sort of a gradual thing I started feeling as I was playing the game, and I was playing it with a few friends and stuff, and it felt like more of an experience to me than just like a game, and I think that was just how I felt. I don't want to interpret how I feel with whoever else is playing the game, but to me it was more of an experience, and I really loved how they did the story. And I'm trying to do it without spoiling anything, but I think that's a pretty good summary for what makes the game not just an action adventure hack and slash. It's not mindless at all. I think they poured a lot of into the game design and a lot of thought into like the story. So yeah.
Right on, man. Anybody else have any thoughts? Dirt, you played it?
No, I actually I actually finished it also. But surprisingly, okay, this is my opinion. I thought the game was very well done, especially on the budget that like that small of a budget. Well, small for a game and development, $10 million of their own money. But the game had great graphics, like you said. The sound was amazing. Original game, definitely very original. The subject matter, some people might not like the subject matter. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't care for the, like 3-Bit mentioned, how people with psychosis see the world, letters, and I didn't like those puzzles at all. I understand where they were going with it, but I didn't like them at all. But I finished the game, and I thought the game was just okay. Excuse me, as a game, but excuse me, but the quality of the game was pretty good. Yeah, and I mean, like, the game might not be for everybody. Some people call it a walking sim. There's a lot of walking, but I definitely feel the game has so much potential to be much better. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, with Xbox money behind them, I think the game will get even better. But yeah, it's definitely a game you should try out in Game Pass. If you don't like it, like I said, everybody's not going to like it because it is so different. But then again, you might like it because there's a lot of people that actually enjoy the game. So
you
definitely check it out, though.
You can have the experience that Dirt has, and be like, okay, it's a good game, but whatever. But it's not great.
It's
you can have the experience that 3-Bit has, and be like, wow, this is incredible, which I've heard from a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
You could be like me and like try it to start it a couple times and just not ever get so sucked in that I had to go back.
Yeah.
Because of people like 3-Bit that keep saying how good it gets, I want to make that a point that I do that, right? And the Game Pass allows people to do this without any kind of extra investment, right? So, and also the Hellblade 2 is coming out, guys. So if you want to learn about the character, this may be the franchise where, you might want to make sure you do play that first game, because I think Hellblade 2 is going to be a lot bigger of a project. It's going to be much more ambitious and investment. But I think the core of who that character is, you're probably going to learn more about it from that smaller, isolated experience in Hellblade 1 that may help you with your experience in Hellblade 2. That would just be a suggestion. So, Paul, what do you think about Hellblade, man?
Oh, I like Hellblade. I haven't finished it either. Obviously, I rarely finish games, but
we're the same
I played
person,
through yeah, we are the same person. I probably played through over half of it. Absolutely gorgeous game. Loved it. As everybody's already stated, I mean, it's an experience. It's a lot. I'm not going to say it's the same as the medium, but some people are going to get more out of it than others are going to. And so I think it is one of those games that, since it is in Game Pass, and the beauty of Game Pass is that you can experience things that you never would have touched before, because maybe you didn't think you had interest in it. And like you just said, Mav, maybe you will find it to be that wow experience that, like 3-Bit did. Maybe you'll find it as the experience where, like Dirt did, but it doesn't matter because it was just part of Game Pass. So it's something that you should try. It's a beautiful game. Senua as a character, I mean, again, this is why I think if Hellblade 2 comes out the way, we all think it should, that puts Ninja Theory up there, because Senua as a character is so incredibly deep and well developed, especially if you kind of get into what the game is trying to tell you about her and how she's experiencing things. Most games never touch that deep. I mean, you can get a lot of surface level stuff, but to actually deep dive into someone's brain like they do with Senua is something special. And so I think it is something with the sound, with the graphics and everything that goes into that. The overall experience itself can be very powerful. There were points while I was playing it, like there was points where I was like, God, this is kind of dragging. But then there was other points where, voices kicked in and you're sitting back and going, oh, am I hearing things or is this the game? Because it's that type of it's that type of immersion at different points in that game. So we'll try it out. Again, like you, Mav, I want to get back and I want to beat it, especially with Hellblade 2 coming out, because I do really love Senua as a character and I want to know about her, because I think the next one, like you said, is going to be much bigger. It sounds like they're going to bring in some new dynamics where there is some possible big battles, or there's a bigger world happening around her in the next one, whereas this one is very personal. I think the next one's going to expand on that and kind of show the environment she's in and what's happening.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to know her personally. So when I get to Hellblade 2, if it is that bigger experience, I understand her and what I'm doing through that next game.
Right.
Sure.
Midway, have you checked out Hellblade?
Yeah, I actually bought it before Game Pass even existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I played about the first hour and a half, and I didn't know about the headphone thing yet. So I played with headphones, and I was just like, now I have ADD, so my attention goes everywhere. So when I put it in and started hearing all those voices, my eyes were like darting like side to side, like what am I? Like what is this? And it. Like,
What is going on?
And then, yeah, and then later, everyone started explaining. I was just like, yeah, okay. So, I mean, it looks great. Like it's kind of walking simulator-ish, but
the combat's not easy in that game. I'll say that.
It's not easy, but it's also, it's I found it all right. I mean, I didn't mind. Everyone's saying, there's a lack of combat. Fine with it because it was telling a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in getting back into it. It's just, life took, games kept coming out. So, but I definitely want to get into it.
Yeah, same here. I've been put on the spot by 3-Bit to finish this game, so I will do so on stream with the headphones on, so you guys can tell me, like, help me with the puzzles and stuff, because I had some trouble.
I remember the
but
first
the
puzzle.
puzzles aren't hard.
They're not hard.
Just kind of stupid.
People either have like a dying passion for the game like me, or like Dirt was like.
I love games like that though, man. You know
what's crazy? I actually saw some YouTubers cry at the end of this game.
Yeah.
Because it really hit them like that. Like, oh my God, I love cinema, men and women. Just that was a great game. Then I saw people like, yeah, that was all right. But you gotta play. Yeah. So Mav and Pong, Midway, you guys got to finish it, man. Yeah, like at least before two comes out.
We'll after we finish the game, we'll know, are we a 3-Bit or are we a Dirt?
I didn't hate it.
We'll find out. We're either we either in tune with our emotions and we're a 3-Bit, or we're closed off like a Dirt.
or are we
dead inside Dirt?
Or are we only worth 2 bits?
Yeah. Who knows? We'll find out.
I already know I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
As soon as I see that release date, I'll start feeling pressure.
Yeah.
There you go. Because it's not a long game. It's about what, 7, 8 hours maybe.
It's like 8 or something.
I think the medium and this game have a lot in common. The medium and Hellblade have a lot in common.
Well, you know what, Mav? That's something interesting because I finished both games.
Yeah.
And
they both have some kind of mental health issues dealing with them. They're both a lot of walking, puzzle solving. Both female protagonist characters that are going through something. Both about the same length potentially if you rush through the story on the medium.
Okay, maybe
they're both smaller teams making them. I could go. I can keep going. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was thinking you were talking about just more of the game itself.
No, not necessarily the game itself and how they play. No,
you're right.
I mean just like with, I guess where I'm going with that is like the inspiration behind the game, why it was made, this kind of the story they're trying to tell in a certain kind of way is different for each one of those games, and it's both more of an artistic expression than trying to in an experience that they're trying to create, as opposed to just making a game, right? They're not just trying to make, hey, we're not trying to like make this a hack and slash game. We're not trying to make this a looter shooter. We're not trying to make this a anything in a box, right? They're trying to make their own experience. Now, though even those experiences have a lot of similarities with like the character and like dealing with personal struggle and also telling a tight knit story. So that's where I'm going with it. And
it'd be interesting to see Bloober Team and Ninja Theory get together.
I know, dude. That's what I want that
because they both. Yes, because they both love to study the human psychology and the stuff that's behind it. It'd be very interesting to see what those two teams could come together and work out, man. It'd be pretty crazy.
A Hellblade Medium crossover.
Yeah,
crossover.
Now, use some of the technology that Ninja Theory has in their stable, and then the Medium's creative talent, the Bloober Team's creative talent. The Bloober Team can make games like quickly. Like, I mean, they have, since I went back and looked to 2014, they have like 6 or 7 games that they made. It's crazy. Wow. They make a lot of games fairly quickly, and this was their biggest one they made with the Medium. And you saw a little bit of their like indie budget style in there because of like what they could do with the character, right? And some of the facial animations and some of that. But as an artistic expression, just looking at the environment and what they created and the detail that they put in is like, it's artistic expression 100% with what they wanted to do with that. So
I thought it was cool.
One of the crazy parts too is Ninja Theory developed this technology because their team is also smaller, and they want to find technology that speed up the process, but give them these incredible results, but would speed up the whole process of trying to create an environment, which obviously Bloober Team is good at, but you know, they're a smaller team too, and they need that help. So it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. What were you saying, Midway?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was saying I thought it was pretty cool that said it back in 19.
Cut out again, Midway.
Yeah, you cut out. I think Discord, I think, may have this option on like smartphone devices for like a noise cancellation type deal, and I think sometimes it cuts out people's voices and stuff like that.
You hear me?
Just make sure it's not on. Yeah.
Okay. I was saying, I thought it was pretty cool that Uber set the game back in 1999. They made the camera angles that way.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice portrayal back then. You know, I know everyone was kind of complaining about it, but if there's a reason that a developer does something, kind of get your imagination.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm sorry, Midway.
No, go ahead.
I think it worked in the Medium. I mean, plus, there's games last generation that still had that type of walking, the camera angles. Like Detroit Become Human kind of still had that. Some of those Telltale games have that kind of, maybe not the same camera angles, but it didn't bother me. It actually felt pretty good. The only issue with the Medium was, like you mentioned, Mav, the animations was very stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual player, she didn't look good at all. She looked okay. Sometimes she looked okay. Sometimes she looked bad. But the game itself, I think Bloober with the Medium, they showed that with some more people, a little bit bigger budget, they could make a AAA game because the voice acting was pretty decent, had great music, the atmosphere was great, and they just hired, I believe, someone to do action, like for their future game.
Combat specialist or whatever.
Combat specialist, yeah. That's one thing the Medium is missing. pretty much no combat in there, and that's something Hellblade obviously has over it. But yeah, but the medium was a pretty solid game, man, and I can't wait to see what they do next. And you know, they're definitely have a lot of talent over there.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank Dirt and Midway for joining us this week. Shout out also to our awesome panel, the Pong, 3-Bit, and you, Babe, for hanging out with us today, and everybody in the chat. It was a blast. We had some great. Hey, we went kind of deep dive discussions this episode. It was pretty awesome. I actually really enjoyed that, guys. It was a blast. So, until next week, we'll see you. Wait, hold on. We got to do some outros, and also, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey, after hours, we're playing Halo again, guys. After the podcast tonight. My pizza's about to get here, so I'm gonna eat, and then we're gonna play some Halo Master Chief Collection. Everybody is welcome to join. It'll be an open party. We'll play on stream and have a blast. Hope to see you guys there. Also, okay, I want to make sure we give a shout out to everybody here. Dirt, I was lucky enough to be on your podcast this week, but I wanted to make sure everybody knows where they can find it.
Hey guys, check out Dirt Griggity, my channel. I make regular little videos, and also on Monday evenings at 6:30 Eastern time, we have a podcast called We Bleed Green Xbox Podcast. I'm trying to put the emphasis on Xbox We Bleed Green Xbox Podcast because I believe there's a We Bleed Green podcast has something to do with the Boston Celtics. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to put the emphasis on WBG Xbox podcast. I got to change my background a little bit. So yeah, come and check us out. We have a lot of fun over there. So, like I said, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come and check us out. Check out my channel. Thanks.
Yes, sir. And hey, channel information is in the description below. Make sure you go over there, give a sub, hit the notification bell for him, give a like on his videos. All that greatly helps.
Man,
what's that?
That link doesn't work for some reason.
It doesn't? Okay. I'll put a new one. I'll change it.
Oh, thanks.
No worries. It probably leads to somewhere else or something. Hey, Midway, where can everybody find you, dude?
Again, thanks for inviting me. Surprise. Invited. He did it at today. Oh. And so yeah. 3-Bit, Dirt Griggity, Pong Soul. For the longest time
You're cutting out again.
Oh no.
All we heard was Pong Soul, which is fine.
Just talk
Pong Soul.
Just talk loud. I think if you talk loud, it'll probably work.
I don't know why it's happening today. It hasn't really happened at all in my podcasting career.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Midway 8 Monster on Twitter. 7 was taken. So yeah, just hey, come follow me. Let's have a great conversation about games and spring as well. Again, thanks a lot for having me. And
right
Caitlin,
on,
don't worry. Caitlin, don't worry. You got a lot more to offer than that little box, okay?
All right.
He's not there.
Then I couldn't hear you.
What the heck?
No, I think they heard you. I couldn't
Just
hear
go
you.
with it, man. Just go with it. It was funny. Don't worry about it. There you go. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening today, guys.
All right. All right. 3-Bit. Hey, man, where can people find your secrets?
You can find some of my secrets on Twitter, the VGHD. Post. I just repost other people's tweets and that I think are funny. I will post my stuff, and you guys can check me out on YouTube. It's the Video Games HD. I podcast here every Friday. Almost forgot the day. And then every Thursday, I'm on Boom Show. So you guys can see me either on Thursday on Boom Show or here on Friday. So love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.
Awesome, man. And Pong?
Absolutely. First of all, Dirt, great to finally be on a show with you, man. I've been watching you. Love what you do over at WBG Xbox. We'll add that in there. Everybody go check out WBG if you haven't already. Great group of guys.
Yeah, they're all Celtics
really
fans.
Cool show. Yeah, Celtics fans. That's why they're called Weebly Geary.
Oh, Pistons fan. My Pistons beat the Celtics tonight, actually, surprisingly.
So go check out Dirt. Midway, awesome to finally be on a show with you. I think that's what you were trying to say earlier when you spaced out. But awesome to finally get on a show with you, man. Watch you on Four Guys with Quarters, obviously, all the time with Mav and Clowns and stuff. So awesome to get to do this. I'm glad Mav invited you on. Chat, you guys were awesome tonight. Was reading your comments. I know I don't talk as much in there when I'm doing these shows. I haven't gotten that two brain thing down yet, so I can't split myself all the time. But was reading your comments and awesome to see everybody out here. Incredible that you guys show up every week for us. Love the support and appreciate every single one of you. You can always find me here Friday nights, as you already know. And then Saturday nights, I'm on the Shop Podcast with PTK Blam, Centurion, Stagorilla, and Fuzzy Belvedere. And that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then, I say it every week, but 2021 continues to be crazy for me. I never intended to do this thing, but here I am. So take a look. Nothing's been announced officially this coming week, but I'll give you a little hint. Keep your eyes open around midweek. You might see me pop up somewhere. So, and Mav's got that. Mav knows what I'm talking about. But otherwise, again, thank you all. Love you all and appreciate it.
Awesome, man. And babe, hey, besides in our house, where can everybody find you?
So creepy when you get to me. You make it so awkward.
I'm sorry. Hey, I love you.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at CaitlinX0615 and here every Friday, just sitting here reading the topics.
There you go. Hey, it's been awesome, guys. I freaking love all of you in the chat hanging out, and anybody who listens after the fact. Also, you can listen on audio platforms, Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. I appreciate all of you guys for listening and hanging out with us. And until next week, we will meet again. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye.